What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 1, A Holt and a Prayer. So I guess we are taking a hiatus from Love and Marriage DC, and we have dived into Love and Marriage Huntsville, and halfway through the whatever, I don't know what the time frame is, what the schedule is, we'll be back on track with Love and Marriage DC. Okay, it's very confusing. I don't understand why Carlos King does this, because I understand that he splits his seasons into two for his show. So you'll have one half of the show, like one half of the season, and then there's a break, a long break, and then we pick up with the other. I don't know why. Why can't we just have one season all the way through, get done with this show, and then start off with another show, and have that season all the way through continuously? I don't know why there's a breakup. I don't get it. But anyways, so this episode starts off with Melody. She goes over to see Kimmy at Kimmy's house, and Kimmy tells her, I haven't seen you or talked to you since LA, since the reunion. And we know that Melody, this is her MO. When the show is done for the season, when they're done with the reunion and everything, she ghosts everybody. She doesn't talk to anybody. These people are not her friends. These people are just her co-workers. And how many of y'all out there, when y'all go on vacation, keep up with your co-workers like that while on vacation? So to her, this is just a job. This is just a paycheck. She don't fool with these people when the cameras are not rolling. It's like, if talking to you isn't making me money, then I'm not talking to you. Which I kind of felt like maybe she would have been checking up on Kimmy more. Out of everybody on the cast, I thought maybe she would try to keep up with Kimmy, but it seems like she wasn't even keeping up with Kimmy. So Kimmy wants to have a party to celebrate the fact that she is done with chemo. The only thing that she has left is surgery and radiation, but she does want to celebrate that she is through with chemo. Melody volunteers to throw the party for her, even though she's going to have to contact people that, she doesn't really care for, i.e. Letitia and Martell. She says that she is up for the challenge. So moving on from there, we see Martell. He's at his house and he's getting a facial done. And his mother shows up. Mama Holt shows up. And soon after that, Sheree Whitfield FaceTimes Martell from Portugal, and so they talk or whatever. I'm just, this relationship between Martell and Sheree just makes me completely uncomfortable. I don't like it. I don't see any. The thing is, to me, the problem is Martell. Okay, Sheree, we know that she doesn't know how to pick men to save her life. She can't pick a decent man, so she's gravitated towards Martell, knowing his track record. Martell, the fact that he's with Sheree, to me, is very opportunistic. Like, it's just for him to hook up with someone else who's very well known so that they can spark rumors, so they can spark talk, get the blogs talking, get people talking about them. And I just, it's so forced, it's so phony, and it's so fake. And I don't have time for Sheree and Martell. So they FaceTime each other, whatever. And in his confessional, Martell says that Sheree and I talk every day. We're really good friends. Okay, we're really good friends, and we're taking it real slow. So when he said that and she has said the same thing at the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. She said the very same thing, that they're just friends. It's casual. It's no big deal. They're getting to know each other. They're taking it slow. Okay, fine, whatever. So then him and his mom talk about Melody and Martell and how they co-parent, and the fact that they're trying to co-parent better. And Martell says that, he really is trying with Melody, but Melody seems like she's not trying as hard to be in a good place with him and this whole co-parenting thing. And Martell tells his mom that he has been going to therapy, and his mom, she just was like, she had such a reaction to that. She was like, what for? What you going to therapy for? What's wrong with you? And he's like, Mama, I'm just trying to, make myself a better man. That's all. The kids are also in counseling. The Mama Holt was okay with that, because she was like, yeah, they need it, because, she says that Melody needs to stop saying bad things about Martell in front of the kids or to the kids. And I can see, I don't know. I don't really see Melody saying anything negative about their father, because she knows how much these kids love their dad. And I just don't see her saying negative things to her kids about their father. Now, maybe she might be kind of slick with it, maybe be like, oh, your daddy said that he was going to come pick you up, but I guess he has something better to do. Maybe saying something like that, but just not outright negative things about Martell. I really don't know. Moving on, we have Stormy and Courtney. So Stormy and Courtney are they are an actual part of the cast this season. They're not friends of, and so they have their own little intro and everything, y'all. And I am so happy because I'm a big fan of Stormy. I think Stormy has a lot of business sense, a lot of common sense. I dig Stormy. I like her a lot. So her and Courtney, they're at home, and Courtney is a little bit rough around the edges. Okay. It's going to, when Stormy was just a friend of, and we got little doses of Courtney, he was fine. He was cool. But now we're getting the full Courtney experience. I don't know. So they talk about nursing. They have a toddler. He looks to be about 18 months or so. I don't think he's quite, maybe he's about 2 years old, somewhere around there, between 18 months and 2 years old. And she is still nursing him, but she's trying to wean him off. And so Courtney was like, you don't let your children tell you when it's time for them to get off the boob. You need to tell them that it's time to get off the boob. So he doesn't like the fact that Stormy's kind of like dragging her feet and weaning the boy off of nursing. He wants her just to, make him go cold turkey, just cut it off completely and, start feeding him some damn steaks. So then they talk about having more children. Stormy definitely wants to have more kids because she says that she was planning on breastfeeding all of her children. And Courtney was like, what you mean all of your children? You only got one. And she's like, well, I want to have more. And he says, nope, absolutely not. I am not the one. We are one and done. And he says, you lost a lot of blood having our son, and I don't want to go through that again. So to me, he expressed in his own way, I'm not married to the man. I don't know the man. But when he talked about how much blood she lost while she gave birth to their son, to me, that was him expressing his fear of losing his wife. But then later on in the episode, Stormy and her mom are having a conversation about this, and they make it seem like Courtney didn't know how to express himself. Like he just couldn't come out and say that he was scared. But I understood that this man was scared about losing his wife when he referred to how much blood she had lost, and he didn't want to go through that again. Sometimes, look, I understand that women are going to want a man who uses a lot of words to express themselves, but that's not what you're going to get. And the bit that they give you, you can kind of read between the lines and understand exactly what they're saying. He doesn't have to do a whole soliloquy or write you a 155-page essay on why he doesn't want to have more children with you, but you understand where your husband's coming from. Because the first thing he mentioned when he said he didn't want no more kids, he talked about the medical scare that they went through when she had her son. So he's definitely afraid of losing his wife. He doesn't want to go through the pain and the trauma and the fear and the unknown of what they went through before. Anyways, so when she didn't act like she didn't understand, she was like, you know what? Because she says in her confessional, Stormy says, I was okay with it. I was scared at first. At first I didn't want to have any more kids because with what I went through with my labor and delivery, but after I got over that, now I want more kids. She's like, if I'm okay with it after knowing, and I was the one that went through it, I was the one that was losing the blood, but I'm ready to hop right back into the sack and try to have more children. Why isn't he over it? Because it's one thing when you're over it yourself. You weren't the one who was about to lose a loved one. You weren't the one who was about to lose a spouse. So it's a little bit differently. It's cool that you're over it, Courtney. You went through whatever you went through to get over it, but he obviously has not. But anyways, so when she didn't really buy that, he says he doesn't want to have any more kids. He says that, she gave the suggestion of doing a surrogacy. Kind of like, okay, if you're so worried about my health and losing me, let's try a surrogacy. And he was like, I don't want nobody else having my kid. Now, I think that even though he was completely closed off to this conversation of having more children, so he really didn't give her the opportunity to talk about the surrogacy, but hopefully at some point she will be able to explain to him that, okay, a surrogacy, she's having our child, and there's legal documents in place. Everybody has to sign all these legal paperwork for everyone to understand this is not going to be nobody else's child but ours. Okay, it's our child, our biological child, that someone is just going to be toting, in the words of Angela from 90 Day Fiance. Someone else is just toting your child, and it's really our child. He didn't want to hear that. He goes, I don't want nobody having my kids. And then he says that he didn't want the children to compete with one another. Okay, so that's something coming from his own past then. He's bringing up stuff from his past and putting it on his children. Talking about if he has more children, they're going to compete with one another. Like, what? And then he shut down. He didn't want to talk about it no more. And Stormy kept on pushing him. And she was like, I don't understand why. I don't understand why. And he goes, I don't got to give you a reason. And she was like, yes, you do got to give me a reason. And then he was like, I don't have to give you nothing. So when he said that, and the look on his face when he said that, I was like, oh, this is a whole nother side of Courtney. Moving on to Melody. Why Melody is calling people, knowing that she don't get along with these people, she don't want to talk to. And girl, why are you going through this whole rigmarole of getting a trap phone, calling these people? Why can't you just send an email or send an actual invitation? Like, I don't understand why you gotta get a trap phone to make invitations for Kimmy's party. Can you send an email, a group text? Can you actually, go buy some fancy invitations and send these out to these damn people? And if the party is like right around the corner, if you feel like there's not enough time for things to be mailed out, okay, you can have a messenger like hand deliver them to everybody. Girl, what is going on? Anyways, so she got herself her trap phone because she changed her phone number. She don't want nobody to have her phone number. And so she's using a trap phone. Like, why can't you use... Isn't there something that you can like block your number? And maybe people don't answer block phones. Anywho, so she's on her trap phone and she is calling people. She called Tisha. She called Martell. Martell wanted to talk about some damn prayer. We'll get to Martell. She called Stormy, and Stormy was like, "Who is this?" And she's like, "This is Mel. This is Mel. I'm inviting you to Kimmy's party, blah, blah, blah." And Stormy was like, "Oh, is this your new number?" And Mel said, "No." And she's like, "Why are you calling me from this?" Whatever. Stormy was the only one that questioned why Melody was calling from this number that was unfamiliar to everybody. She was the only one that nobody else questioned it because Stormy's new, so she doesn't understand Melody's MO. No one else questioned it. Not even Martell questioned it. It was just Stormy that was like, "What number is this? That you're calling me from? Is this your new number?" So when she gets to Martell, she invites him. He's like, "Okay, cool, I'll be there, whatever." Then Martell wanted to talk about some damn prayer. So from what I could gather, and I could be wrong, but from what I could gather, the night before, I guess maybe they were doing an exchange of the children, and maybe Martell brought up them co-parenting better, getting along better. And the way that Melody tells us is that Martell wanted them to say a prayer to give their relationship another chance. And the way Martell tells it, he said that he wanted them to do a prayer so that they can get along better, so that they can co-parent better. So with Martell, he's talking about co-parenting. And Melody, she's making it seem like Martell wants them to get back together and wanted them to say this prayer. So they were supposed to pray, I guess, in their own individual homes, not together, but separately, but at the same time. And I guess Martell, he's Boo-Boo the Fool praying by himself at his house. And Melody, she's probably watching TV, not even worried about this damn prayer because she could care less about Martell. She's doing whatever the hell she's doing, probably talking to her new man. And Martell is praying. And Martell, when he was done with the prayer, I guess he thought that Melody was going to call him because he doesn't have her phone number. He can't call her. So he thought maybe Melody was going to call him as an update or like a conclusion to their prayer. Like, okay, yes, we just said our prayer together. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum. I don't know what he wanted to do on the phone. So he never heard from her. And Melody wasn't even going to talk about it. She was like, "Okay, yeah, you're coming to the invitation. Great." Click. Moving on from there. Stormy. So Stormy talks to her mom. When I saw Stormy's mom, I was like, oh no. No. Not Miss Wanda 2.0. Not a Miss Wanda 2. Ain't nothing more aggravating than an older person, a more mature person getting caught up in the internet mess, getting caught up in the Twitter streets, the social media streets, the Instagram streets. There's nothing more pathetic than someone who knows better, but now they found this new method, this new way of communicating with people, this new forum, this new method, this new medium of expressing themselves, and they just go buck wild. There's nothing more irritating than that. Stormy's mother, so Stormy and her mom are talking. And we see where Stormy gets, all of her razzle dazzle attitude. Okay. So, Stormy, first they talk about Courtney not wanting any more kids. And so the mom says, well, he can't express himself. You know how men are, they don't know how to express themselves. And something about Courtney not being able to really talk about his feelings and not really being able to express it. He's scared and whatever. And I thought he did. I thought Courtney made it clear that he was afraid that he was going to lose his wife because she had this, medical problem before. I thought he made it clear. But she wants to have more children and he doesn't. And her mom is kind of like, you know what, y'all just going to have to talk about it again, be compromised in some way. I don't know exactly how you compromise on children. Either you want them or you don't. If the person who don't really want them, they're just going to have to give in and have them, or the person that really does want them is going to have to give in and not have them. There's no compromise. You can't have half of a child. So I don't understand how you can compromise on that. So Stormy and her mom start talking about the internet. So the mom had posted something about, I don't know if it was in response to Melody or what the hell is going on, because who knows what's going on. I'm not on nobody's damn Twitter. I don't know what's going on out there. I don't know if it was Melody that posted something first and then Stormy's mom had to respond, or if Stormy's mom posted something and then Melody responded. And Melody, I'm going to need you to stay off the internet. You don't want to talk to nobody. You want to change your number and you want to ghost everybody in between seasons. Stay off the internet. If they're not good enough for you to talk to in real life and for you to give their number to, don't communicate with nobody at all, period. So anyways, Stormy's mom posted a question online, if Mel and Stormy's friendship was real, and then comparing their friendship to Melody and Destiny's friendship and how fake that was. And so Melody responded, don't know, I didn't even read what the hell she said on the screen, didn't read it, didn't care, but they started beefing now. So they're going back and forth. And so Stormy was telling her mom, when you do that, it's like you're representing me. So now I have to deal with it. And Stormy's mom don't understand that. She's like, it's not you, it's me, or whatever the hell she said. Stormy's mom made it very clear, if anybody's going to ask me to apologize, I'm not going to do it because I'm not the type. I am not the one to apologize. She says that she didn't like Melody when she first met her. She didn't like her vibe, her energy, none of that. Stormy says that with her, friendship is consistency. And the thing that Melody is not, she's not consistent with her friendship. Yes, because she's only your friend when the cameras are on. And then after that, when the cameras are off and the producers have gone home and the camera crew has gone home, Melody has gone home as well. And you won't hear from her. You won't see her until the new season starts again. So last season, it looked like Stormy and Melody were friends. But in actuality, it just seemed like to me, Melody just wanted she just wanted a number on her side. Because on the other side, you had all the girls that didn't like her. Letitia, Destiny, Tiffany was either flip-flopping, and Kimmy tries to be neutral. So she had nobody on her side, right? So she wanted somebody on her side. She wanted a ride or die on her side, like the way Tisha and Destiny were ride or die for one another. So she wanted a ride or die on her side, and it happened to be Stormy. And she was just using Stormy for a number, as a number on her side. That's all it was. And she had to, act like, oh girl, yes girl, let's go out to eat girl, let's go shopping girl, it's just me and you girl, when it was nothing like that. Poor Stormy got caught up and thought that her and Mel were really friends, but Mel was just using her for a number. So here we are. So now she's trying to understand how come, she ghosted me, she didn't talk to me, blah blah blah. This is how Melody is. I mean, Stormy, did you watch any of the previous seasons and any of the previous reunions? This is what Melody does. When the cameras are off, can't nobody find her. So let's get to Kimmy's party. Okay, so when Martell shows up, he's real salty about this damn prayer. Like, why didn't Melody call him after they prayed together? So he's real salty about that. And so the Winslows show up, and they better bring it this season, because the Winslows, every season that they're on here, they don't bring a damn thing. They bore me to tears. They have these half stories. When I say half story, I'm referring to Tiffany trying to find her dad. Like, what the hell came of that? What was the conclusion of that? Anywho, the Winslows arrive. She's very much pregnant. Supposedly she's having a baby boy. We see Tisha and Marceau. Thank God we didn't get too much of them. When Martell gets a chance, he finds Melody and he's like, so what's up with the prayer? And Melody is just, she was like, I forgot, or I didn't pray, or whatever the hell she said. Oh no, she told me she forgot. She's like, I'm so sorry, I forgot to pray. So he was up there praying by himself, at his home. Melody says in her confessional that she was not going to waste the Lord's time on no damn prayer about Martell. And Melody once again says that Martell was trying to pray for them to get back together. That's why he wanted to do the prayer, for them to get back together. But Martell says he just wanted to pray about them being better co-parenting, being better co-parents. So when Melody says, I forgot about the prayer, he was like, why are you doing me like this? First of all, Martell, this extra stuff that you want to do with Melody, drop it. Just worry about picking up and dropping off your kids. That's it. Okay, you messed it up when she invited you to Destin, Florida for vacation. You completely messed it up. You invited the Scotts over to her vacation that she paid for. You made her endure all of that. Y'all got into it towards the end of the vacation. Martell, you don't know how, and I don't know if he's still playing these games or trying to get under her skin. He thinks it's funny. If that's what he's still doing, he's stupid and he's immature. But if it's not that, he just wants to do all this, like you want to pray with her, you want to do all, just worry about whether or not she's going to be there when you pick up and drop off your kids, and leave it at that. Leave it at that. Just communicate with her about the children, and that's it. And then when people come and attack y'all's kids, yes, y'all can stand as a united front. Or when people come and want to attack one or the other, yes, you can stand together as a united front. Other than that, leave that woman alone, Martell. Leave that woman alone. You got a brand new woman. Worry about Sheree. Don't worry about why Melody didn't call you up after the damn prayer. Worry about Sheree. We know that you want Melody back. We know you want her back. You pine after her. We get it. She don't want you back. Maybe she wants you back, but she don't want to show it. Who the hell knows? But for right now, worry about Sheree. Kimmy gives a speech. She announces to the people that there was no more cancer detected in her body because, God is good and miracles do happen. Stormy pulls Melody to the side and they have a conversation. So Stormy says that she had reached out to Melody. She had texted her but never got a response. And Melody says that she had changed her number. And so, Stormy was like, okay, because I texted you but I never got a response back. So I just thought you were ghosting me. So then Melody says, why didn't you call? And Stormy was like, well, we text. That's what we do. We text each other heavily. So I never thought about calling you. So then Melody says, why didn't you DM me? And Stormy's like, I've never had a friend ask me, why didn't I DM them? Because what a real friend does is when they change their number, they call you or text you or they reach out to you and say, heads up, I changed my number. FYI, please don't share it with anybody because, I don't see it for these fools on this show. Don't give my number out. I'm just letting you know and I'm giving you my number. That's what a friend does. They reach out and they give the new number. But Melody is nobody's real friend on this show. The sooner that Stormy realizes that, like the way Kimmy has realized it. Kimmy realized it day one that Melody ain't like that in the off season. That's why, Kimmy was like, I haven't talked to you since LA. And she left it at that. She didn't go into no, but I called you and I texted you when I came over and you didn't answer the door. Kimmy didn't go into none of that. She was just like, I haven't talked to you since LA, and left it at that. Didn't ask her, where were you? What were you doing? Why didn't you call me? None of that. Stormy, the sooner you realize that you're just you're just playing the role of Melody's friend, but you're not really Melody's friend, the easier it's going to be for you. And you won't be so caught up in your feelings when Melody doesn't call you or reach out to you or let you know that she's changed her number. So the whole DM thing, she was like, I'm not going to DM a friend. Who does that? I'm not going to DM my friend. My friend is going to let me know that she changed her number. We're going to go from there. Yes, your friend will. Melody won't. Thank you so much for joining me in this review. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.